posted a video earlier explaining how I made my wicking beds out of these IBC pods, but I forgot to say in the video that if these pods have been used for chemical prior to you purchasing them, chemicals like Roundup or herbicide or pesticide or any of those sort of things, please do not use them as your garden beds. Make sure you know what was in them prior to your turning them into a garden bed. So going back about what I was saying, these are IBCs which in Australia are used to transport things like molasses or vegetable oil or those sort of things. You can get them from your feed companies, your animal feed companies, or your fresh produce places. Now they come double this size, so we've cut them in half. You can see where we cut it off here. This is a plastic layer, and this will absorb the chemical that's been stored in it, which is why I say don't use ones that have had toxic chemicals in them, because it could leach back into your soil. So I filled the bottom half of my IBC, once we'd cut it in half with an angle grinder, with sand or gravel. And then I put a layer of geotech fabric, which I just got from Bunnings, and then my compost or soil on top of that. And then on the other side, I've put a little hole at that level where the geotech fabric is, so that this bottom layer fills up with water, and then the roots of the plants can go from where you plant them down to that layer. They can't get through the geotech fabric, but they sit on that layer, and then they can absorb the water that sits in the gravel layer below it. And the water will wick up through your soil level. So as long as you keep that bottom level full of water, your plants should be healthy and happy and watered all the time. And I find as long as you have a good layer of mulch on top, because of our climate here in Australia being so hot, it's a good way of preserving water and keeping your plants hydrated without losing excessive amounts of water through the ground. So that's what I've done here. I've got another one there and another one there. I do sometimes have to put rat bait under the bottom, because occasionally the mice like to take up home there. This one I've actually put a little archway, which is currently covered in geotech fabric, between the two beds, and I've grown a thornless blackberry between them, and that acts as a little canopy for things like ginger and tomatoes, and I've got galangal in there during the warmer months, and it keeps it nice and cool and acts a bit like a natural greenhouse. So it's working for me, and I've got 16 of them here in this garden, and arches, or there's raspberries on that arch behind my peach there, or nectarine, and there's boysenberries on the arch behind that. And then, like, I've grown potatoes, I've grown sweet potatoes, so even things that go quite deep are doing quite well. Anyway, that is how we have made our wicking beds.